What's up, everyone? I am Nate Benyon. I'm new to TikTok and happy to be here. I'm kind of showing my face more publicly and some of my perspective and views on the world more publicly. To understand why that's kind of a big thing for me, I just wanted to take a few minutes to explain kind of who I am and where I'm coming from in my life and why it's a really big deal for me to be here and be doing what I'm doing. So I was raised in St. George, Utah as a faithful LDS kid. I had a very loving family and was raised very much in the LDS culture. And most of my community was LDS, my friends, of course, my whole family. So that was just kind of the world that I lived in, and that was my reality. I served in leadership positions in the church growing up, and eventually got to the point where I could serve a 2-year mission. I was called to Boise, Idaho, and I left pretty soon after graduating high school at 18 and turned 19 just a few months into my mission. So while I was on my mission, I had what some would call a faith crisis in regards to the church. I realized that I didn't know if the church was true and if the worldview and the beliefs that I had been given by the church and my family, if they were real. I didn't know. I had a lot of questions, really deep questions about life and what it means to be alive and live a meaningful life, and just deep questions about what is true. So in one way, it was a faith crisis, but in another way, it was like a spiritual awakening and transformation for me, where I really started to get in tune with what I really believed, what I really thought was true, and my own personal answers to these questions, which in most cases didn't align with what the church said. So while I was on my mission, this inner dissonance between being a missionary for this church I didn't believe in and awakening into this new sense of self and spiritual living, I decided to come home from my mission early, which was a big deal because it was considered dishonorable and I knew it would cause my family a great deal of suffering. But I had to for the sake of myself, because I wasn't happy and I couldn't stay out there and pretend to be someone that I wasn't. So I came home early. My family and my friends and my community were very disappointed and confused and just really didn't know how to process it. And I myself was just going through kind of this dark night of the soul of losing my entire life, basically, and having to rebuild myself from the bottom up. So that's what I began doing. And I eventually found a wonderful woman that I got married to, started my own family, moved out of my parents' house into my own place, and continued pursuing my spiritual growth and my spiritual awakening on my own, and reached amazing levels of connection with my own sense of what God is and the beauty of life and what it means to be loving, all these kinds of things. I dove deeply into the deepest questions of life, the existential, philosophical stuff. It was my passion, and I spent hours and hours reading, studying, and experiencing it for myself. So my family is still active and practicing. My dad was a bishop for a while, my oldest brother a bishop. My all of them served missions and full time, and so everyone in my family is still very much in it. But over time, a lot of my friends that I'd gone to high school with and was close with began coming to me, and they were going through the similar faith crisis of their own and saying, I want to leave this church and do my own thing, and I'm not sure how to do it, and I'm scared and stuff like that. And so I was able to help a lot of people just because I had gone through that before, I was able to help a lot of people do that themselves. So now I'm kind of transitioning my life into being a spiritual coach and helping people develop this sense of very authentic spiritual connection, understanding the deepest questions of life for themselves and finding their own answers to those things and living with full integrity to that. So I'm not really about telling people what to believe or how to view the world. I obviously will share my own insights and my own perspective in this platform and others. But ultimately, I think that it's everyone's responsibility to find out what they believe and why, and to live fully in that, to be totally truthful and honest in their life, true to what they believe, to be true, and connecting with it deeply. So anyway, that's just a brief history of me and who I am and what I'm doing, and I hope that you like that. Maybe that resonated with you, and I'll definitely be sharing more in the future. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.